Hey guys, I'm Dave, and today we're about to cook the world's best grilled cheese sandwich, according to Google. Before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button and the like button, as it'll help more people find this video, which will help advance our cause of helping to see if Google really is picking the best possible recipes for us when we search. So let's look up the world's best grilled cheese recipe right now on Google and see what we get. Now I know there's tons of like really fancy over-the-top grilled cheese sandwiches people make. I usually just use some Velveeta or American cheese, but we're gonna see what Google says. Okay, so this is actually an interesting one because the top recipe on Google has a low star rating, only 3.6 stars. The one right next to it has 5 stars, and the one next to that has 4.8 stars. So generally, if I was cooking, I might pick either this second one or this third one, but on this channel, what we do is we search for the world's best recipe, and then we pick the absolute first one that Google recommends. And today, Google is recommending this Bon Appetit episode, which only has 3.6 stars. That doesn't mean it's not the world's best. My favorite chicken wing recipe also has 3.6 stars, so 3.6 stars on Google doesn't mean it's bad, but the search engine, the algorithm, is telling us that that top left grilled cheese is the best, so we're gonna try cooking it today. Now I did run out to the store and I grabbed the ingredients required. It looks like first we need some bread. It actually says Pullman bread. I don't really know what that is, but it said Pullman or white bread, and this is white bread, so I grabbed some white bread. I got some unsalted butter. Normally I would use salted butter, but this calls for unsalted. It calls for American cheese, thinly sliced. So that's what I got here. It actually says or cheddar, so I mean, it's kind of confusing because if it's the best recipe, it should pick one or the other, and those are two very different flavors. On my grilled cheese, I prefer American, so I got American cheese for this sandwich. Pepper, which I've never put on a sandwich, but first time for everything. Well, a grilled cheese sandwich, I'll put it on other sandwiches, and mayonnaise. I got the Duke's because, you know, everyone says the Duke's is the best. So this is it. Supposedly, these ingredients are gonna make us the world's best grilled cheese sandwich. We're gonna put it to the test. Let's see what we find out. Okay, so this says to place the bread on a cutting board. I'm gonna put it on a plate, that's fine. And spread the mayonnaise over the top side of each slice of bread. So that's what we're gonna do. I don't use the end piece. Do you guys use the end piece? I'm not into it. Well, at least not for a sandwich like this. So there we go, we got 2 slices of bread. Now let's get our mayonnaise, spread over the top of it. So this says, how much mayonnaise does it say? It says 2 tablespoons. So I mean, we're not gonna measure out 2 exact tablespoons, but I think we can eyeball that. I mean, a lot of times I will measure it out to be super accurate, but for mayonnaise, I don't think we need to do it. Okay, so we're just gonna take, that's probably too much, so I'm just gonna spread it kind of thinly so I have some left over, because it's supposed to be 1 tablespoon on each slice. There's slice 1 and slice 2. This is not something I would normally do. I'm not a huge mayonnaise fan, but this is what the recipe calls for. And it says that the mayonnaise is gonna give it like a good crust. It says it will give it a golden, delectable crunch. Sounds good. Up next, it says to heat a small nonstick skillet, which I have here, and it says to heat it, let's see, over medium heat. All right, so we'll let that warm up, and then it says slide in half of the butter once it warms. So how much is half of the butter? It says 1 tablespoon total, so basically half a tablespoon. Let me get a knife. So we're gonna cut off 1 tablespoon, and then we'll cut that in half because it said half of the butter. I wonder what the other half is for. Okay, so I guess half the butter goes in now, and then the other half goes in when we flip the sandwich. That makes sense. As far as cheese, I did go with the orange. I normally go with the white cheese, but I went with the orange because that's what the picture looked like. And this says 2 ounces, which is about 4 slices. That seems like a lot, but it did say thinly sliced. And I don't think I got these thinly sliced, so I mean, that's not thin to me. Is that thin to you? So I think I'll probably just do 2 slices. Because it calls for 4 thinly sliced. I don't know. Maybe I'll do 3. Meet them in the middle. That's probably the way to go. Yeah, right in the middle. This is it, guys. This is gonna make the world's best grilled cheese sandwich with just these few ingredients. I'm excited. Our pan feels like it's pretty warm, so I'm gonna move over there. All right, so now I'm over here. I've got my bread and my cheese. I've got my heated up skillet, and so it says to put the mayonnaise side down on the skillet. So we're gonna do that. Oh, actually, no, hold on. We gotta put in half the butter first. I forgot about that. Typical Dave, skipping steps. So we put in the butter and let it melt on medium heat. Just kind of move it around a little. And then it says once it's all melted, then we put the bread in. So that looks pretty melted. We're gonna put that down. And then we're gonna take our slices of cheese and evenly distribute them on the world's best grilled cheese sandwich. I mean, I'm gonna like do it like that so it's evenly spread. Then this is to season with pepper. Not something I've ever done, but I'm gonna try it. I'm trying not to go too overboard here. Just a little bit of pepper. Could be good. Okay. And then we'll put the other side down with the mayonnaise pointing up. It says to leave it like this for 4 minutes and then to flip it and put the other butter down before we flip it. So let's set the timer for 4 minutes and then we'll be right back. Okay, so we got 30 seconds left and then we're gonna flip this sandwich over and see how it looks. Hopefully it's looking golden brown and perfect, but I don't know. And hopefully this is the world's best grilled cheese sandwich. All right, let's flip this over, guys. It's been exactly 4 minutes, as you can hear from my timer. Let me turn it off. Let's flip it. And we burnt it a little. But I just followed their timing suggestion. Maybe I should have checked more clearly, but I wanted to follow the recipe exactly. It's not that burnt, it's just a little crispy. And actually, I'll show you a trick to fix that if you ever do this yourself. It shouldn't really affect the flavor, and there is a good trick to fix it up. All right, so it says to flip it over. Actually, we're supposed to put the other butter in there, so let's add that. And we will kind of move it around so the butter can get under it. On this channel, we don't do repeats. If we mess up, we mess up. That's not bad though. My kids would complain, but I would eat that no problem. My wife would eat that no problem too. Kids are just really picky eaters. So I'd say maybe another 2 minutes like this. I don't want to burn it again, so I'm gonna do 2 minutes and then we'll be back. Actually, I will say this recipe says to push down on it to promote browning, but not too hard. So I'm gonna do a little pressure on it and kind of just push it down. To me, this seems like a lot of butter that we're using here. That's just my opinion, but it does seem like a lot of butter. All right, so push down. It says not too hard, so just a little push, and now let's just give it another minute. I mean, I do love grilled cheese. I'm not really into cold sandwiches, but a nice hot sandwich, whether it's grilled cheese or anything, meatball sub, Philly cheesesteak, love all that stuff. All right, let's take a peek at the bottom and just see how it looks. We're gonna keep a closer eye on it this time. Yeah, see, that's already looking pretty much done to me. So we're gonna pull this off. The cheese looks melted. There is a trick if your cheese isn't melting properly where you can take a plate or a lid, put it over it. Usually you use a lid so you don't burn your finger. But yeah, you put a plate over it and then the cheese will melt a little faster. But yeah, let's pull this off. All right, so here's our grilled cheese sandwich. The world's best grilled cheese sandwich. We're gonna try to make it look a little better though, hold on. Okay, for starters, I'll show you what happens, or what I do when I burn it a little bit like that. You just use a sharp knife. This is my knife I was using to cut the butter. And you can actually just scrape it along the top. I think everyone knows this, but just in case you don't, I'm certainly not a professional chef, but this is a trick that you can use, at least to get your kids to eat it without fussing. There you go, that looks better, right? Now we have a nice, beautiful grilled cheese sandwich. Let's cut it and take a look. Do you do diagonal or vertical slice? I mean, there's not really, oh yeah, there you go. So you can kind of see the cheesy goodness coming out. And we're gonna test it right now, guys, because why not? No need to set up anything fancy. World's best grilled cheese sandwich, down the hatch. Tastes like a normal grilled cheese sandwich, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like completely normal grilled cheese sandwich. It's good. I love grilled cheese sandwiches. You can't go wrong. I kind of want some chips with it now, though. Maybe some tomato soup would go good. I can't taste the pepper. Maybe I should have done a little more pepper. I mean, out of 10, I'd give it a 6. I mean, 3.6 out of 5 seems about right. It is not special in the least. Honestly, I'll be honest. For me, this was good, but I actually prefer to put butter on the bread as opposed to mayonnaise. Salted butter on the bread instead of mayonnaise. So it takes out a step kind of because you don't have to put butter on the, well, at least I don't because I use a nonstick pan. What I'll do is I'll heat the nonstick pan. I'll put normal salted butter on each side. Then I'll cook it. Pretty much the same thing, except to me it tastes a little better than this because I'm not a huge mayonnaise fan. So this is good. This is a nice, easy grilled cheese sandwich. You can make it home. It's like I said, 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. You could make some minor adjustments to make it a little better. Maybe add a little bit more spice, something like that. So add some slices of bacon. This is a really simple grilled cheese sandwich, guys. I hope you enjoyed the world's best grilled cheese sandwich. Make sure you subscribe. Next video, we're gonna be doing the world's best mac and cheese. See you next time.